Our albergue for the night has some very nice amenities, a washer and dryer, but we still did the hand wash. Suzette is hanging clothes to dry there. There's a little kitchenette over here. This is where we'll have our community dinner. If you look out the window, trying not to show off to everybody or video everybody, but there's a swimming pool, so there's a lot of people just hanging out at the pool. We'll show you our room in a bit. Okay, walking down the road here in Cornelius de Camino after we just went to the albergue and checked in. Interesting town because it's all very just one giant building on each side. Everything's connected. Sorry about that. And we are headed to this bar up here on the right, which some lady told us that her daughter did the research for all the bars along the Camino for her and recommended this one. So if it's got a recommendation from someone doing research, it's a good bar. Guess we had our priorities mixed up because when we went and looked for the bar, we had our backs turned on the church. So before we go into the bar, we're gonna go take a check out of this church. Not sure if it's open or not. Doors are closed. Good morning. It is day 18, September 16th. The temperature is about 56 or so today. So a nice brisk morning, but off to a good start. We're leaving Cornelia del Camino, and not sure how far we'll walk today. So we'll keep you updated. My video material for yesterday was so short, I'll just throw it on with today's. So I'll be missing a day. I just didn't record much yesterday. We had a hectic day. It was a good day, but it was a hectic day. So we're in Camino. Good morning. A little bit of an update. We've walked probably about a mile and a half of our first 5 miles to coffee for Suzette, and we are evidently entering what they call the meseta, which I believe is the mental part of the journey. So we're through with the physical, although I kind of call BS on that. I think it's all physical, but this is the mental section, and as you can see, this is what it is: 100 miles of nothing. So we come to our first town of the day, and that's it. That building right there, and ruins of another building. That's the whole town. Glad we didn't decide to stop there for the night. Coming into our first real town of the day, about noon. Montana's is the name of the town. I think it was a population of about 70 people. here in a small church in Hontanas. One of the things that they said stands out here is their honorary place for some of the modern influences on history. It's pretty cool, very quaint, very bright compared to a lot of the others we've been into. Walking up on the ruins of a 1400s monastery that was built to house and feed the pilgrims. We think it might still have a couple of beds. We're going to see about possibly staying here, but we're a little late, so we may not be able to get a room. But the story goes that once they locked the doors, pilgrims still had these archways they could go through, and they were allowed to sleep in the courtyards, and the monks or whomever was living here would leave food and refreshment out for them to be able to get some nourishment along their way. And supposedly people still to this day will leave like memories or whatever in the little nooks where the food was once left. So in the meantime, it looks like there's a food truck, but it doesn't really look like the albergue part is open. So we'll see.
You have no animals, no lady?
No, I have animal. I have 2 dogs.
Yeah?
But not now in Italy. She go to Italy because I make my second Camino, second time this French Camino.
Uh-huh.
The 1st September I start to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port and stop in Burgos. I walk 11 days, and after final October, when I don't have too much pilgrim, I'm close my van and continue.
Oh, yeah, when it slows down, huh?
Okay, so the monastery albergue unfortunately is closed. We talked to the guy, gave us a really cool wax stamp, and he said that this is closed because it is going to be the movie set tomorrow morning, so they're getting ready for that. So, but the Camino actually goes through the arches, and like I said, the courtyard is typically left open for pilgrims that make it in late, and they can stop here, or it used to be, I don't know if they still do, and there would be nourishment left for them as well. The first sign of Castrojeriz, where our final destination is, a little further than we wanted to go, but since the monastery was closed, there's the town. Really cool old church up on the top of the mountain, and then there's another church down here. Looks like it's on the edge of town, probably where we'll be entering town. Okay, as we are entering our final destination of Castrojeriz, we're being greeted by a church that is attached to a college, and it's named after Manzano, Santa Maria Manzano, and there's a castle up on top of the hill also with the same name, so pretty cool. We are in the collegiate church of Santa Maria Manzano, and it's really set up more like a museum than a church, but it does have a church with chapels along the side, a few burials. This is one of the side chapels. Has all of the clerical robes. And some of the art pieces that we've walked past that I just took pictures of are from, like the one painting was 1606, and most of them are 1500s, 1600s, a lot of sculptures. That's Saint Anton, which that monastery that we walked through earlier today was named after. This is the main chapel. More sculptures and artwork here. Museum. See, this sculpture looks to be from around 1271 or 1336. That one is from the 700s. Wow. $1600s, 1630. This all appears to be more modern. Model of the cathedral we're in, or not cathedral, but church. Correction, this is a model of the what the monastery we walked through earlier today would look like, but most of that has collapsed, but there's where the road went through it. This is a model of the church we're in, and if you can go in and look at the model, can't really see it because of the lighting, but it actually has the stuff that's on the wall. Pretty cool.